Alright guys, just got through making every one of these pieces. There's 40 of them, and as you can see, they're on an angle and they're also tapered. It's kind of hard for you to see that on camera, but they're thicker on one end than the other, and they are also cut on an angle because they're going to make a cylinder but smaller on one end than the other, so tapered cylinder. And reason I'm making that is for my dust collection. I made this, I think they call it a thine separator. I made the bin, then I made the separator, which separates the dust from the air, really. So that way the dust collection bag doesn't fill with dust. The reason it's filled with dust now is because I have to use it directly hooked to the system for my table saw. For some reason, the table saw needs a lot more suction. But for planer wise and stuff, you'll fill the bag in no time. So I like to put it through there, and it works good for that. But and the reason I have to do that is because this thing, I'd say it almost reduces the suction by half. But so anyway, so needless to say, I'm making a new lid for that to get rid of the separator. And there'll be like a cone shaped thing here, and then I'll cut the bottom off the bag, and then the bag will attach to it. So then the dust will come in, go through there, and then the bucket will be all underneath it. It'll fall into the bucket. So that's where I'm at. And if you want to know how I made these, I didn't film any of it because it took a long time. I made this jig. It fits in the table saw T-track like this. And then I could set this fence here to whatever angle I needed it, and I also had the blade angled. That's how I did that. Anyway, I'll get back to you guys when I have more done. Spent the last 15 minutes taping every joint. Moment of truth to see if it'll actually roll up into a cylinder. Oh boy. Something's off here. Feels like I got too many. Huh. So I'm a little off my dimensions, which is not the end of the world. So since I have, you can see my cone shaped, hard to see on camera, but it is tapered. Well, here I could probably show you this way. There's 90 degrees. So there she shows how tapered she is. There you go, guys. Got her all glued up. It's upside down now. I had it right now, the bigger side is facing up. I had it the other way when I originally glued it. I just turned it over to make sure nothing was all nasty. Glue everywhere. Every joint's got good amount of squeeze out. Nothing really on the outside, but that's okay. There's gonna be plywood rings that are gonna be around it, top and bottom anyway, so that should, anyway, it'll be plenty strong. Doesn't really have to take any force anyway. Hey guys, so I got the thing all unglued. I gave it a quick sanding just to get rid of any glue on the outside. It's holding up it's very strong. I roughed out, I don't have a big enough piece of plywood to do the whole circle in one, the ring that's going to go around here and the bottom. So I just doubled up the 3/4, cut a half circle, and then I'll join them together. Not quite sure how I'm going to do that yet, but I'll figure out a way. So I roughed out that. These cuts are just this edge, that edge there is basically the center line of the hole. So when I join the two halves, I'll just cut these off because I gotta make another cut here, which will be the inside diameter of this will be the outside diameter that this will fit into. So yeah, that's that. So yeah, so I'm gonna do that, but right now I'm setting up my router with a flush trim bit, and I'm gonna obviously turn this around, and I'm gonna run the flush trim bit, and I'm just grabbing one right now. I'm gonna run it in the router like this, and since this is tapered, depending on how high I go, it's hard to see there, but you can see that if I hold the router bit level, once that bearing hits, there'll be basically a vertical flat spot here. That's my goal. I'm gonna try to put a small, about a 3/4 inch tall, so when I drop it into the plywood, everything will be flush, and it'll give me a good diameter to go to too. So that's what I'm doing now. So there you guys go. There's the two halves that were together. Split them apart. I haven't fixed them together yet. I'll probably maybe put pocket holes, or maybe I'll cut a spline in it. Anyway, you guys will find out. So that's that. This will go down into here like that. Got the rings glued up. There's the two halves. I don't know if you could see that. I splined them together with another piece of 1/4 inch plywood. So that's that one. That one goes up here. And then I got this one here. I swear my finger. That one's also spline. They blend pretty good. So yeah, that's the one for the bottom here. And I cut out 2 more circles that are gonna get stacked onto this one. I gotta cut out the inner hole still. So they'll get stacked onto this one and overlap the actual bin itself. So they'll be about 1.5 inches wide. Both stacked, and then that's where the dust collection bag will attach to. Anyway, there you go, guys. There's the almost finished product. You can see the taper in it now, sitting on top of the bin. So here's there's the one ring that fit over this, and I got the other 2. They're all glued up. Didn't film it, but I routed a small groove inset in the outside to help where the clamp's gonna sit. A little chamfer on the outside there, and then a big chamfer on the inside to help the dust funnel into the drum. I gotta glue this on still, but. And then there you go. The bin's already full of dust. Some wider stripping. Something I just had on hand. Not necessarily this is the size that I wanted, but I had it. It'll work. Just clean out the see the dust falling. That's it. We'll be giving her some testing on the next project.